everybody. I hope you are having a absolutely fabulous day, and welcome so much to Altenew Live. And this is Amy's Inspiration Station with Amy. And I just want to let you know that if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. And I would love to know who is behind the badge. I'm hoping it is. I'll see you. Oh, Angel's here. Yay, Angel. It's so exciting to see you, Angel. And we are going to have an absolutely fabulous, fun and crafty hour. And thank you so much for joining us today. So I see Serena and I see Lisa. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you are here and where you are tuning in from. We always love to know that. And if you share this live while we're live, let us know where you shared it to, and you'll be entered to win a gift card from Altenew. And today's topic is all about alcohol inks. All right. Hey, I got to tell you, I missed you too, Angel. Absolutely. And Tracy's here. Hello, Tracy. I'm so glad you guys are here. Coming from where I am is a little bit of a gloomy day. So we are talking alcohol tips and tricks. So I would love to know, do you have a special tip or trick using alcohol inks, whether it's markers or if you're using refills and whatever it happens to be? Do you have a special tip or trick for us? And I see Geraldine and Vicky. Vicky, thank you so much for sharing. And oh my gosh, Nancy. Well, I have to say, Tracy, Nancy is here in spirit because it is pretty rainy and foggy where I am, and obviously not where you are there, Tracy. And oh, Vicky, yes, Vicky, big fan of alcohol inks. Let us know any sort of tip or trick that you would like to share. And Cece from Sweden, I hope that you are doing well. All right, so I have a couple of things that I want to do, and I've had this idea. I don't know if you guys get ideas, and it's kind of stuck in my head, so I'm excited to share that idea and see how it goes as well. Hey, Glenn from Brisbane and down under, I hope that you are doing well as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get over to my surface, and so that way we can start crafting. Let me know, are you going to be crafting along with me today? I would love that. And of course, if you do happen to have any sort of crafting project, please share it with us on social media. All you have to do is just hashtag Altenew, and we would love to see what it is that you make with our fabulous products. All right, so as you can see, I do not have a very exciting desk, but that's only because stuff is off to the side. All right, so we're going to do. Oh my gosh, that's a great idea, Serena, about using foil when you get that thick blob of not quite dry alcohol ink. I always have a trouble with that because I'm like, is it too dry? Is it too wet? And then it has to be just right. So that's definitely something that we have to work on, or I have to work on in terms of getting that timing right. So this here is actually not paper, like cotton paper. This is a special type of paper. It is called Yupo paper, and it's really plastic. All right. And Tracy, I'm so glad you're crafting along, but not with alcohol ink. Well, this hopefully will inspire you, Tracy. We'll see how you go. And again, if you are crafting along with us and we would love to see what you make. So please share that with us using hashtag Altenew. All right. So what I have is a piece of Yupo paper. Now this paper is plastic. You can do a lot of things with it. Some things you have to be a little careful when you use it, but what it is super fabulous for is actually using alcohol inks. And I have a couple of different things. I actually have markers that I will be using, but I'm going to pop those out second. But I also have mostly refills. And my color scheme today, I'm actually kind of excited. I don't know what I was thinking, but I grabbed these color schemes. I'm actually not going to use the fresh dye inks today, but I'm just bringing them out here so you can see what the color scheme is that we're looking. So I have this really pretty kind of like salmony color, and I'm pairing that up with a dark teal. And this is from the Sweet Dreams collection. And then also a mint, kind of looking at that volcano lake. So this is seashore. So this is where we're heading to in terms of our color scheme. And then I'm actually going to share that or pair that with a beautiful orange terracotta here. So this is kind of where we're going. So both of these actually is what we're heading towards. So this is where our colors are. And so what I absolutely love about Altenew, and I think what's drawn me to the company in the first place, is that I can get fresh dye inks. I can get markers. So I have markers that are in the same color families. And, oh, I have these ones because I haven't opened them yet. I don't think I've used these yet, which are fabulous. So these are this family. And I also have some from here. So I can get these in watercolor. I can get them in alcohol inks, but it's all the same color families, which is so super great. So we're kind of going along again with this idea. So I also, and this is actually what I'm going to be using. So I have the markers, which I will be using, and then there's the refills. And what's neat about the refills, look how much you get with that. This is 30 milliliters. You get, I mean, these things are going to last you a long time. And I'm still in the process of like buying all of these. But so there's, oh, so pretty. So there's my coloring for here. So you can see that nice, pretty orange. And then I have some yellows that I'm going to bring in. A little bit of warm grays, and I also have some blues and a little bit of greens. And I also, because I love it, I'm going to grab a little bit of pink. Okay. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start by making a couple of different backgrounds. And I'm going to use these backgrounds in order to die cut from them and also to use them as a background. So we got that. The width of the stamp wheel guide, each one. Can you answer a question? The width of the stamp wheel guide. Glenn, I am not, are you talking about the stamp wheel like here in terms of the stamp wheel, or are you talking about the guides? So I actually do have the guides, the alignment guides, and that's what I want to know. So Glenn, if you could let me know in the chat, just give me a little bit more information and I can definitely answer that question for you on that one. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. And that's the fun thing is like, I just kind of go around and I can grab my fresh inks and I can, say, hey, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to pop those out, but I'm going to grab this and I'm going to use the alcohol inks and I'm going to use my markers in order to see them. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So Glenn, a little bit more information and I will definitely answer that question for you. All right. So we're going to start off using my alcohol ink refills. And I am actually going to make two backgrounds. One I'm going to die cut from and the other one I'm actually going to use as a background. All right. So where I like to start is I actually like to start by having just a little bit of alcohol on there. And so, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angel. Yes. And what she's referring to are these. I grabbed them, Angel, are my alignment guides. And I think I'm missing one of them. It comes with 4. And these are absolutely fabulous because you can take and put these in your stamp wheel. And then you can always make sure that wherever you put your paper, it's going to exactly, like line up where you want it to go. All right. These may be coming out in a moment. So I'm actually glad Glenn asked that question. All right. And fun question. Your go-to alcohol ink markers. I got to tell you, cute color scheme. Check it out. All right. So I have 2 things. I have a little bit of blending solution. And then I also have a small Mr. And this is filled with 91% alcohol. And what's cool is I can go ahead and I'm just going to start this. I'm just going to add a little bit to this. And just a little bit of, safety is if you are dealing with alcohol, just make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area, that windows are open because the fumes are going to come up at you because obviously alcohol at room temperature, that is going to evaporate rather quickly. All right. So just make sure that you are in a well-ventilated space. All right. So I'm going to just start by adding a little bit of some marigold. This is part of my coral. And because I put that alcohol on there already, this is going to start to move around. And I can move it around by actually just starting to move my paper a little bit. And also you can use a straw. I have a little blower. And as I blow this, it is going to dry that ink out. So just be mindful that it is going to dry that ink. So I'm just going to start off and I'm going to start to build up some colors, all right, on this one. Open window. Yes, you definitely can. Although in my case, in this time, it is raining outside, but I'm in a nice room. I'm not, in a place where I'm in a well-ventilated area, but I just wanted you to be mindful that when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're adding that in. Okay, so this is a little bit of Canyon clay, and Canyon clay is a lighter color. of that orangey kind of salmon color that I have here. So nice and bright. And I love how vibrant these are. They're so, so beautifully vibrant. And I'd love to know, do you have like a medium? This is on Yupo paper, which is made for it, but you can actually use alcohol inks on a bunch of different materials. I have used them on metallic paper. I've used them on acetate. I've used them on vellum as well. And we're going to do that a little bit too. All right, so I'm going to add in a little bit of pink. And I get going, and I know you guys are like, oh, I can't follow along. What the heck are you doing? And I got to tell you, I just sit here and I just start to play. And I kind of use my color families, like thinking about colors that are similar to each other. Because if they're similar to each other, so you can see I have a lot of warm colors, then I'm not going to make any sort of brown, right? All I'm doing is just adding in some colors and I'm spreading them around. And you have to just kind of let this go and let this be free. And so when this is really for me, it's just kind of a time to play. And so if you have any sort of tips and tricks with alcohol markers, let me know. All right. Oh my gosh, that's a great idea, Carrie. Yes, we'll just put the fan on. Geraldine, yes. Absolutely. All right. And thank you, Angel, for putting those in. And just a reminder that if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. All right, I think I want to start moving in. I do. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of red in. This is ruby red. Just want to go a little bit of red over here. And I'm just kind of seeing how the pattern is taking and seeing how we're going. Now, I'm making this as a background, and so what I like to do when I do these backgrounds, because sometimes they can be pretty vibrant, is I'm going to start to tone this down a little bit. And I thought I did not. All right, so I'm going to grab a little bit of sun ray. I'm just putting a little bit of yellow in, seeing how this goes on here. Okay. Now, put these over here. All right. I'm going to start to add in a little bit of blue and some green just to tone this down because this is really super bright. Yeah, it's true. And it's something, Tracy, you're right, because you just kind of make this and you see I put that yellow in, and that yellow, even though I had like all those intense like dark oranges, because I put that yellow in, it's going to start to lighten that area up. And then if you're like, this might be too much for me, I'll show you what you can do, and we can start to open up a little bit of segments. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think this is Sunray. Yeah, this is Sunray that I just put down. That's so nice. So if you're like, I don't know if I love this, you can actually grab just alcohol, and I'm just going to spritz it. In fact, I'm going to do this to it. Oh, that's so nice of you, Carrie. If I just put some alcohol, that's going to start to move the ink. So you can see I'm starting to open up some little spots in here. So if you're ever in a spot where you're like, oh, it's too dark, or I want to put some other things on, you can start to move that up. So I'm just taking some alcohol that's off. This is, again, just 91% alcohol. And that's the highest alcohol that I can buy, or at least that I know that I can buy in my, crime scene. That's so funny, Geraldine. Yeah, that's true. Make sure you can use some alcohol to get this off your hands if you don't want to go out in public with red and whatnot on there. So you can see we're starting to get these really cool patterns. I also like to sometimes like make a section that's red and make a section that's green, and then I can die cut from it. I don't want to do that in this case. Oh, here's my green. All right, so this is a little bit of sweet leaf. So I'm going to start to just move this in. Now, if I put the green over here, it's going to make it brown. But like Tracy said, that's okay. We like a little bit. Brown is a great neutral color. So we do like that. And you do want to make sure that these are capped. There is a little section in here. So you just want to make sure that those are sitting tightly and then turn it. All right. Sometimes I forget to do that because I'm going so fast between colors. But just keep that in mind, that you do want to make sure that these are really, really capped. All right, I also want to add in a little bit of blue. So this is my dusk. And because I have that yellow in there, where I put the blue, that is going to make some, that's going to make some green where it's on the yellow. All right, I'm just kind of putting that up there, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit. There we go. All right. And these, again, just make sure that they're capped because you want it, as you're going between colors, just make sure that these are capped. There we go. All right. All right. So now what I'm trying to do is I really want to make sure that this is filled all the way. And you can see as I start to put the air in, it's showing that yellow. Can you see that yellow coming up? But I also want to make sure that I have some sections where it's nice and blue. I've got some dark areas. I got some light areas, and here I'm starting to get a little bit of purple. Ooh, look at that purple right there. That's because I put that in on top of that pink. And this is where it's cool because I'm going to start to mix these things up. Okay. And I just want to go. Serena, I'm trying to think about, I grabbed some foil. I'm going to see if I can do the foil trick. But again, I always like wait. I either wait too long or not long enough. So we're getting this kind of thing in here for this part. All right. I want to add in, let's see. That is getting there. Okay, so let me add in, I'm going to put in a little bit of gray just to see what happens with this. Just to darken this little section up here. There we go. All right. Now this is a 5x7 piece, and that's nice because I can use it as a base, which is what I'm going to do with this part, or I can use it, or I can cut it up into pieces because it's nice and big. All right, let's put that in there. And again, I'm just moving around, and my goal in this one is just to cover this up with as much of this color that I possibly can. All right. And let me know, are you an alcohol inks? Do you like using them? Are you nervous about using them? Is this a go-to for you? Do you love to just kind of play around and make some backgrounds with them? So how is it that you use alcohol inks? Let's put a little bit of this guy. This is sweet leaf, so I'm just adding a little bit of green here. Just to add a little bit of light colors. All right, and I think I'm almost there. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of alcohol just to open up some colors again. But I am doing pretty good. All right, we are almost there. And again, if you have a section that you hate, you can just add pure alcohol on it, and that will take the ink and move it out and get it into an area. All right, again, I'm just kind of squeezing this over. There we go. And sometimes this is a situation where it's a mess. Oh, which will brighten and which will mellow the color. You have to kind of play with the color wheel, Tracy. And so it depends on the undertones of them. So let me show you. What I did when I did that is I had this sunrise. Sunrise pretty bright. Like you typically will use the lighter colors. And that is, and so when I used that with the green, that yellow still came up. Shimmed. I love to make the bags. The backgrounds and usually want to die cut them, but your Sizzix never cuts it. It is hard, right? Because this is, it's pretty thick paper. It can really, really be super thick. The poster board die cuts more easily than Yupo paper. Oh, that's good to know. Never tried it on poster board, Carrie. And you would definitely get a lot. I know someone had mentioned trying it on photo paper. Yeah, that's true. All right, you do this. All right, I got some dark areas I just want to take off. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this again. So this is just the alcohol, and I'm just kind of lightening these up, these little sections, just to move that ink around and put some patterns in. All right, I'm going to set this off to dry. And oh yeah, there we go. All right, so that's just opening that up again. All right, I'm going to set this off to dry. This is, for me, I always have a hard time of like when the heck to stop, because I just like to keep adding colors, but you have to pause for a second. And what I'm liking about this background is I have a gradient between like bright pink yellows over to like greens and blues. And that's what I'm liking right now. Okay, so I'm going to pause on this. I'm going to put him over on the side. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to take my Yupo paper. Now you also, by the way, you can use the other side too. So I can do, if I wanted to, I can do that. And the piece that I have over here, I could do it on this, do it on the back side as well. If like you have a section that you don't like, you also have a back side to it. Jeanette, I'm so glad. If you end up trying this, we'd love to see it. So please hashtag us, hashtag Altenew so we can check it out and take a look. All right, I want to do a little bit of my blending solution this time. All right, so for this one, I want to make sections that are like pink and green because I'm going to be using it as a background. Or I think I might. So I'm going to add some green over here. And so when you have that blending solution, it likes to, you can see that my ink is going to run like crazy. So I'm going to run this. And that's just because I added a whole way too much, right? That's okay. That's the fun part. It starts to evaporate. All right. So that's in really, really super dark. Don't love it, but that's all right. It's going to be fine. All right. Now, when I do leaves, because that's kind of what I'm thinking about with this guy, is I want to have sections that are a little bit different. So I'm just moving that ink around. So yeah, I know, me too. I always want to, Tracy, and then I end up getting excited and adding way too much on. All right, so here's the sun ray. So I'm just going to put this on. I usually like to do it first. So Tracy, does that make sense? You can kind of see how it's starting to move. So the little bit of that yellow. So now it's blending in. Because remember, we're mixing like with like, right? And so that's going to cause it to be a little bit. So now I can get this like mossy looking green, which is what I'm looking for. So I want sections that are a little bit yellow, and I want sections that are a little bit on the darker side. And this is so I can like literally cut out leaves and things like that from this. There we go. All right, I think I want to add just a touch of blue. So I'm going to grab a little bit of dusk. And I have some other colors. I just grabbed a few of them out here. And this is moving a lot more than the other one because I use so much blending solution, which I don't totally recommend. But there we go. All right, there we go. Now I have these really thick sections here, and I can add some, trying to back off so I have some space on this side. So I can add just a little bit of alcohol just to get those off. So, all right. And just a reminder, if you share this live while we're live, and just let us know where you shared it to, you will be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And we have Angel behind the badge. So great to see you, Angel. I hope that you are doing well. And we are talking alcohol backgrounds today. So I'm using the Altenew. These are actually the refills. And what's so awesome about these is look how much ink you get. Like I've had some of these for quite a few years, and I have just never, ever gotten through them because there's just a lot of ink in there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave that there. Oh my gosh, Deb, I hope you are doing well. All right. So now I'm going to get this other side that I want to have like pink and red. So I'm going to start with a lighter color. Actually, I think I'm going to start with Sunray. I thought I grabbed vanilla cream, but I did not. All right. So I'm just going to grab this Sunray. It's just a little orangey. And I'm just going to let that start to move around. All right, so I'm just kind of creating a bottom of this. And now I'm going to add some coral berry to this. And again, this is kind of my flower side. And remember, when you have the alcohol, again, like dissolves like. All right, and so now we get kind of an orangey pink, which is what I was going for. Here we go. All right. Now I want to add a little bit more pink, like darker pink to that. So I'm going to add in some rubellite. And this is very intense color. So I'm just going to do a little bit. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to start to mix those around. And again, I'm looking for gradients here. I'm looking for sections that are a little bit more yellow, a little bit more pink, and a little bit more red. And this, having a straw that you can use, and even just tilting up, you can kind of do it. All right, I'm loving that background over there. Okay, I think I'm looking good. I don't want to add anything else. Here's my ruby red. All right, just a little bit of this guy. nice and dark just to get a couple of little bit of sections. Okay. All right. I'm feeling good about these two. I'm going to try. I have some extra foil that I grabbed. So if you were with me on my last live, I did a foiling. And so I just had some extra foil on my desk. So when you have sections and you have to kind of like see where the heck it is, this is not dryish yet, but you can start to test it. And so I just have some leftover foil, and this is Altenew foil. This is the antique gold. I thought I had a piece of, oh, I do have rose gold. This is rose gold here. And then this is the antique gold. So I'm going to use the antique gold. Oh, Beth, thank you so much for sharing this. Appreciate it. All right. Actually, it may work. I always, oh my gosh. Serena, are you with me? Let's see if this works. So wherever you have those kind of like really heavy spots that might be a little wet. Worked. So you can use that foil. And again, you got to time it right. Sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't work. But I figure it's the whole point is it's kind of a mishmash. So why not just throw some other stuff on there? Oh, there we go. That's looking kind of cool, right? Right? Perfect for foil. Thanks, Serena. Glad you're here. Oh, hello. How are you doing there, Brianna? Good morning from New Zealand. I hope you guys are doing well. All right. I think that might be too wet. Let me try this one over here. And this is nice too, because it kind of gets it to dry quicker, if you will. And I might hit this with my heat tool when I get there. All right, I'm going to try this section. I'm a little nervous over here. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's good. And this is a great way. I do save these little pieces of foil, but this is a great way to kind of use them up. I also like to do lines with tape. That's why I also save these. All right, and let's get right here. Okay, and I'm going to try this section over here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second. All right, so, oh, such a great way. Yes, Serena, it really is. And it's nice to like, oh, I saved that scrap and this is really what it is. Okay, so what we have just done is we are talking alcohol inks. And I have made two backgrounds on Yupo paper. And so I have one that's kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of colors. And I have used from pinks and oranges and yellows and greens and blues on this side as well. So I'm so excited that you are here, Brianna. So, and you haven't, Beth, if you have any questions on alcohol inks, let me know. Okay. And Janine, hello from Switzerland. And thank you, Angelique. Thank you so much. And so this is a mishmash. And then I just grabbed some foil while it was drying and then go ahead and I added that foil too. So thank you, Serena. I think I needed that little piece of confidence there. And then on my second piece, what I have here is I have the nice green and I also have some pink. And so you can see like, okay, we're getting to a point where we're going to be die cutting out of this some flowers and seeing what we got. I'm actually going to see if I can grab and add some, oh yeah, to this. And what's nice is you have to kind of time it where that these ink spots that are a little bit heavier, they have not quite dried yet. You can grab some leftover foil and try to see if it will stick. And I just kind of keep going around and grabbing it, seeing what I got. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have these two pieces. I'm going to set this one aside because I'm not going to use it yet, and I'm going to take this one. All right, so let me move my colors out of the way. And again, a little safety tip, when you are working with alcohol inks, make sure that you are in a well-ventilated area. And then these caps, you can see how great these bottles are and how much they hold. You just want to make sure that all of these are capped tightly. So that way that alcohol does not evaporate, because at room temperature, alcohol evaporates. Okay. All right. Die cutting. Well, actually, Tracy, no, because like you said, it's a little hard to die cut out from this. So instead, what we can do is we're going to do some backing. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay. Oops, that one is not on. There we go. All right, so this is my color scheme. I'm not using the fresh dye inks. I'm just keeping these up here for color scheme. So what I have done, and I did do this off camera, so I apologize, but I can do it while we're here, is I use the Altenew Simple Shapes cover die. And I love this die because it looks like stained glass, doesn't it? And so I think it was really cool. So I took a really heavyweight piece of black cardstock and I already die cut a background. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top and now it's going to look like stained glass. But I want to actually press this into the paper and not just have it on top. So I'm going to take the die on my Yupo paper and I'm actually going to emboss with this die. All right. But before I do that, I'm going to really quick because I think everything, it might be a little tacky. Now you can use your heat gun on Yupo paper. I have embossed on Yupo paper, but you have to make sure that you are super careful because this is plastic. This is not paper. And so if you do this, you have to make sure that you keep your gun moving and do not, don't like, stick on any one page. You also can take, and just kind of like set this aside, totally fine to do. But just because we're on a live in the interest of time, I'm just going to hit this. You just got to be super careful. Again, this is plastic. It's not paper. All I'm doing is just any sort of tacky spots. I'm just double making sure that they are dry. Okay. And I thought this would be cool because, like I said, I thought it would look like a cool little stained glass background on it. All right. I want to show you guys one other thing that you can do. When you have crazy backgrounds like this, I'm going to go through this step with you guys, but you see that when I put this on top, we can still see that background through. So I can even, use this and have color come through on this background. All right, that is not totally dry. I'm just going to let this sit for a second and we'll move on. And I'll see that this should dry in a moment, but we'll keep this on the side and I'll do my next step. Oh no, Geraldine, you melted yours. No. All right. Yes, you have to be really careful when you do that. You have to be really super careful. All right. So a couple of things, and I think I'll do this step with you because I realized I just put a call link on there. This flower, I was looking around at my flowers and I'm like, what would look good as a stained glass flower? And I was looking around in my stash and I found Enjoy Life. And this one came out a little bit ago, but I have to say it is a set that I keep reaching for again and again. And the reason why is a couple of one. I love these flowers. You can color them. You could keep them white. You can do a bunch with them. And you have these two pretty ones. And then you also have these little flourishes that are really nice. And then this is a gorgeous sentiment set. And I know it's listed as a floral set, but it would be so super nice. Yes, absolutely, Vicky. That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping to heck, Vicky, that this will dry, but if not, I'm going to do that as a good suggestion that if it's a little wet, I can put some printer paper on there. All right, so I'm going to, I have already stamped this, but I'll do this with you. So I grabbed some vellum paper, which I put over on the side. And this is a little bit of a heavyweight vellum. And I am actually going to grab this. Let me grab my scissors and I'll just cut this down a little bit so it fits into my stamp wheel. Notice that I need stamp wheel 2.0 on the list. On the list, guys. Let me know if you've already gotten stamp wheel 2.0. I haven't done it. Oh my gosh. Dina, I hope that you do. Alcohol inks are super fun. Super fun to use. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to grab this. Now, I want to have, because I'm kind of going for a little bit of like a stained glass look, I want to have this as like a super heavy dark background. So I'm actually going to stamp this with my Obsidian pigment ink, okay? But I am going to do 3 layers of clear embossing powder over it. And what's nice is I don't need a separate ink. If I use the Obsidian, I can do this really quick. All right. Oh my gosh, Carrie, and a small fan. I know, Cece, I'm realizing like I need a little small fan right now, which I do not have. All right, so before I do this, let me prep my surface here with a little bit of powder. because I am going to be embossing on this. All right, and I'm just going to grab this guy and I'm going to stamp on him. The obsidian is so great. Yes, after certain. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you guys are giving me. So that's a huge thing. I haven't, I have to get that stamp wheel. I know, 2.0. I'm excited about it. All right, here we go. All right. So the obsidian takes a little bit to dry. And because of that, we're going to take advantage of that property. But I got to say, it is such a gorgeous, gorgeous, nice, deep black. And I want this to be very, very dark. And so that's why I'm going to stamp it twice with the obsidian ink. And this is a great ink to use for this technique. Yeah, I'm thinking about that, Carrie. See, if I had that, I could take the side off on that stamp wheel 2.0. All right. And again, we're talking alcohol inks today. If anybody has any sort of little tips or tricks with alcohol inks, we've made some backgrounds. And now we're going to do some coloring with markers on vellum. All right, so now I have this. You can see how gorgeous and nice and dark this is. I'm going to move that over to the side. Let me grab my little paper here. All right, so this one, you got to be kind of quick. And I will show you guys what I mean by that. All right, so I'm going to grab, here's my little tweezers. And I'm going to grab my clear embossing powder. All right. So I'm just going to roll those right over. And because it's vellum and we prepped it, it's going to go really, really quick. Oh my gosh, Geraldine. Is it obsidian? Oh, good. Thank you so much, Angel. I know. That ink, put that on your wish list if you don't have it. It's so super fabulous. All right. Now, I'm going quick because this is still hot and warm. And I want to put a second layer on, but I don't want to stamp. So I'm going to go really, really fast. Put that right on there, and then I'm going to hit it again. And this way I can put a second layer on without having to re-stamp it. So, and I'm going to put a third layer on too, because I really, really want this to look like that stained glass. And you notice I'm going really fast because this is vellum, which is again like a plasticky paper. So you can definitely heat emboss on it. You just got to be mindful as you do it. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so again, 3 layers, and I didn't have to re-stamp it at all. And I just want to show you guys just how beautiful and nice and thick all of that is. So pretty. All right, so now I'm going to take my embossing powder, put it right back into my little container. And that's the clear. And that's why clear embossing powder, it's a little bit of magic here. All right, just double checking that I have this nicely done. There's no crazy pants. Okay. So this is a nice vellum, and what I can do on this, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab my markers, and when I color, I'm actually going to color on the back side when I do this. All right. So again, we're using this color, using this piece, and I'm going to start off with the flowers, and these flowers are so super pretty. I have some yellows. I have Martian terrain. I got some yellows here. And I also have some blue greenies. I'm going to do some blue greeny colors on the leaves. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start out with my darker color, semi-darker color. And I'm just going to follow along these lines. And what's nice about this is even though this is dark, when you flip it over, it really starts to look light. So it's totally each what to do. Trying to understand. All right, Glenn, we will go over those again for you. All right. Okay. And actually, it doesn't matter about length or width because you can just turn it and use it however which way you want. That's the nice part about it. All right, so these are the Martian terrain markers, and I just got the set. So when you get alcohol markers from Altenew, they typically, you can get them in sets of 4, or you can get it in a set of 12. And the sets of 12 are nice. So this is the Mystic Garden set. Oh, thank you, Angel. Angel beat me to this one. So when you get the sets, it's nice because they come in this container. You can just store them in here and just keep them this way. But they have this neat little container down here that I actually use that for storage of some other things, which is really nice. All right, so let me grab some lighter colors, and I'm just going to start pushing this down. All right, and again, this is on the back side of vellum. So it's not going to do a super great way. It's laying on top. It's not paper, right? I mean, it's paper, but it's not like paper. And so you have to be mindful that you're blending. It's not going to soak into the paper. So it's still kind of on top of it. All right, here we go. And that's a leaf. That is not a thing. All right. And all I'm doing here, just really doing some really super quick coloring using the Martian terrain markers. And I have some oranges kind of worked in. Okay, just to show you, that's where we're headed to. So you can see how really pretty and soft that starts to look. I'm going to grab some oranges, and I'm just going to do right from the depth. And I'm going to do these little stamen. And right from the depth here, just to get it. Because again, it's so, even though you might be scared of like, oh my gosh, it's so dark. When we start to flip that over, you really can't see it too much. So yeah, absolutely, Deb. That's what I think. Oh, okay, here we go. And you can go really super quick. And like Deb had said, it really is forgiving. Such a forgiving little technique that we can do. All right, I'm just going to grab this one. And now I'm just going to extend all of this down. I'm just going to keep it a little bit light on that side. And I love this because you can start to move that color around really quickly. So because the markers don't bleed into the paper, they're really easy to color with. And because I made the black so black, I don't have to worry about those lines, because those lines are really going to stand out when we when this is a finished little piece. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start going with the green blues. So move over here. And again, I'm just going with my other piece. There we go. All right. So this is from Seashore. And I'm just going to, again, just start going up with some dark sections. And that's what I like to do, is just kind of move that color around. So here I go from like dark to light. So you can see I'm just adding in, following those lines. And I just honestly start grabbing markers and just going for it. All right. And this is Sweet Dreams, which is a little bit bluer. And I love to mix blue and green together when I do my leaves. Okay, so now I'm going to take a lighter color and start to mix those together. And that way I can move that pigment up. So I still can keep that dark base, but now I'm going to move that pigment up. Whoops, messed that one up. All right, and I have a little flower over there that I'm going to fix. And it is really fun doing this because I find it to be a lot quicker when I color on the back. So again, there we are. See how pretty that looks? Oh my gosh. All right, and let me just finish up this little guy over here, the little bud that I missed. All right, and really quick, I'm going to move that color on up. All right. So pretty. And again, turning it over. There's our little guy. All right, so now let's put all this together. We are pretty close. I know, Angel, I got like 15 minutes. I had 2 cards planned today, which I think I can get to the second one, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so I don't have the die for Sweet Dream or for Enjoy Life. And again, this is such a nice set because of all of the super fabulous sentiments that come with it. But I really love these 2 flowers, and I think they're great for something like this. Because I like to do these ones on vellum. And even if you did it on vellum and then you kept it, clean and you didn't color it at all and you put it on, on a colored cardstock, these are just really pretty. And I think it matches a lot of, occasions. So that's why I like this set. It's a really, really nice set. Enjoy Life. All right. So we talked about doing alcohol ink backgrounds using the alcohol re-inkers. And now we're talking about coloring on vellum. And I would love to know what is one, background or medium that you have used alcohol inks on. I like doing it on, you can use them on metallic cardstock. I know we talked about using them on poster paper, on photo paper. Is there anything that you guys have tried? Acetate? Have you done acetate? They're really versatile to use on a whole variety of things because they're going to dry quick, right? They're going to dry really quick because of that alcohol medium. And you see how nice. And what I love about Altenew is that they're so saturated. Really pretty. So, all right. So tell me in the comments, where have you, what media, what backgrounds, what type of paper or medium have you done alcohol inks with? So we've done Yupo paper, and now I've done vellum. I've done vellum. See how pretty that looks? It looks like Shrinky Dinks, doesn't it? Remember Shrinky Dinks? It looks like you take this and put it in the toaster oven and shrink it down. All right, so now let's go back to our background. Okay, I think we're pretty, oh yeah, we're dry. Okay, so what I have done off camera in the midst of time is I took this die, which is Simple Shapes, and I die cut a piece of black out of it. So you can see that right here. And mostly on my hands. I love that, Tracy. All right, we got Yupo, poster board, photo paper, vellum. Oh yeah. Hey, Carrie, have you tried acetate? Have you tried it on acetate? And so I'm going to take this die and I'm going to press it into this here. But I want to make sure I'm putting it in the section I want. And so this is going to end up like right on there. So it's going to be a little background. Okay, so let me grab some paper. And because I think it's going to have to be, it's still a little sticky. Okay, so I'm going to bring my little machine up here. And I always have to look because I forget. Okay, so that is this. I need my die. Next. Oh, yes. Is the marker ink dry? Yes, because Deb, if you noticed when I did this, I did I did clear embossing powder. So I stamped it using the obsidian ink, and then I did the clear embossing powder. Now I wanted it to be super like dark, so I stamped it twice with the obsidian ink, and then I did 3 layers just because I wanted the embossing powder to be super thick. So you could totally do it with 1 layer, but try the 2 layers. And you saw how quick it was that I never had to restamp it when I did that. So because I just kept, as soon as it was done, I was like, okay, let me get that on there. All right, so this is here. I'm going to do my best. Oh God, this is going to be a mess, guys. I swear it's going to be a mess. Okay. All right, that's my protector. And you know what? Honestly, if I get ink on the back plate, I can just use some alcohol. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to throw this guy here. And then here is my embossing mat. Oh God, I got to look at my sandwich. Embossing mat and then my embossing plate. Okay. throw this out here. Oh God. Okay, so this is, I'm embossing with that die, and that's because this is going to go in. Wherever the heck it lands, it lands. That's what we're going to do with that guy. Okay, and let me grab my plate, other plate. Okay, here we go. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want this to like sink into the paper. So let's see. And I got to say that that paper might give it too much of a shim. So we'll see how this goes. This might be a mess. Oh God. Oh God, I think I just put that through. That's okay. My paper might have been a little too thick. That's all right, guys. Oh, yeah, that's okay. We're making it through. All right. So this was good. I saved it. It was a little much. That's all right. We're okay. All right. So here is my little guy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut those edges out. So that way we can see what the heck I have. Because right now it's a little bit of a mess. All right. And let's go ahead and cut this out. All right. I might come back again once I put the black piece on it. Just in case if I'm not exactly on it. Okay. All right. I know, Deborah. I'm with you. Thank you for the sentiments there. Okay. So now I'm going to line this up. So that's going to go right in. So I'm going to grab my glue right here. And I'm just going to tack some glue on. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to take this back to my cutter. And once I put the little black guy on, then I can recut it again just to make sure, because I want it to be like right at the edges. So I don't want any of that Yupo paper to pop out. Okay. Now I also could use the Altenew double-sided adhesive. So if I had cut this out, and this is what I'm sure it happens to you guys all the time too. I'm like, oh, I missed that step. Why did I not put the sticky paper on this? But it's okay. We'll just use some really, really thin little glue guys. And I'm just kind of dotting these all around. And I don't need to put the glue every single place. I just need to dot it because it is strong glue. So it will be fine. And if I need to, I can always reinforce as I go along. So just adding a couple little dots here and there. There we go. Okay. So this works. And then I got it right. Yep. Okay. All right. And because I embossed it, it should sit right in there, and I glued it. Oh yeah, this is cool. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it. But again, because I embossed it and then I'm putting my guy on, it's looking kind of cool. Okay. So now let me get those edges off of there. Right, Deb? It's like, oh, I always forget. Yeah. It was close. It was close. All right. And like I said, I can always reinforce it with that glue. Oh, just want to go right next to it. Probably going to need a pair of scissors, but that's all right. We'll get right there. And I can always clear up any edges with a pair of scissors. There we go. And right on that edge. And this is going to, again, so this is my background. And it's so nice and easy to use. So take a look at your cover dies. And I tried to pick a cover die. That's why this Simple Shapes die is really nice, because it looks like windows, doesn't it? It looks like little stained glass windows. I thought that was really neat. All right. How cool is that, right? And so it's over adhesive. Me too. You can always add additional layer too. Yeah. And it's something I wanted it to like be buried into the background. So because I didn't want it to stand up too high off of the background. So I wanted this to be a little bit on the lower side. So this is kind of my look that I was going for. And I was like, I wasn't exactly sure how this little flower was going to go, but I do like it. I also could do this on white and back this on white cardstock. So let me just show you. So if I took a little bit of white cardstock and I back this, it's going to pop up a little bit more. So I can glue this on there and then put that on here. And it still gives that like really soft look. So versus if I had done this on white cardstock, it wasn't exactly gonna do that, but it looks so pretty on the there, and then it's actually gonna stay up. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that to this and then just recut it all out. But that's right on there. But how pretty is that, right? And it's such a neat little background to do. So that's my piece. So that is, those two will be great together. And then just having a little soft sentiment there will be really pretty with it too. But it's so cool having that cool background. And then you can see the gold coming through. And again, it just gives us this really, really neat look. All right. So there's one other thing I wanted to show you guys. And I have just a couple minutes, right, Angel? We are close. We're close. All right. So this is the decorative enamels die set. And these I cut out from black cardstock, that same very, very thick black cardstock. And you can take these and then you can glue them on the top of that. Do you see that? And do you see how cool that looks? Because it's so neat that it comes right out of there. And so again, nice bright, I would use some bright sections, but how cool that would be where you have that background coming through. And then by cutting those out, you have that white on there. Now there was one thing else I was going to do, and that was using the boho, which is really what I did, which is really what I wanted to do. And I'll do this super quick. We got 3 minutes, Angel. We got it, right? We go right to the end. And this is the boho vases die set. And this is such a cool die set because you have these little vases, but then you have these really cool looking leaves. And so I was going to grab the leaves and die cut them from the green side, and then die cut the vases from the red side. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, Tracy, you ready? It's coming. Die cutting the Yupo. Maybe. If I have enough space and enough time. All right. And I know, Angel, it's okay if I go over a minute, right? Oh, yes. Brush gold metallic over the, even if you did the brush gold metallic and then did the leaves out of this, Tracy, like how pretty that would be. In fact, I have some. I'll do some out of this too. Okay. All right. So let me grab this here and I'm just going to place my leaves down. Let's see, let me put one right there. This is a nice big guy, so let's pop him here. And let's see if I can get the third leaf in. I think I can do it. All right, do that there. Oh yeah, look at that. I actually want him here. And I'll show you a little trick. If you get like, you can actually just use your regular markers to color that in. If you get to a section that you don't like love, or it's a little white, you can actually just use your regular markers to color it in. I'm gonna throw him over here. Can I fit you here? I'm gonna fit you right there. Beautiful. Okay, and then I'm just gonna grab these and I'm just gonna do, actually I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm gonna use my decorative elements for that one. Okay, let me throw these through. And we're going to take a look and I will really, really quickly assemble this for you guys. Okay. And really pretty. I'm actually going to use Tracy's idea of the gold with the vases because I like that a lot. So we'll put those through. So I'm just going to pop that in. That might need one more roll through. And I'm just going to throw my vases on here real quick. And these are really cute. And they have these little, cutout pieces. So if you also had like an extra background or paper, you can put this on the back and they are really cool. This is a really cute little set. All right. Okay. And Angel, thank you so much for being behind the badge today. Really appreciate it and appreciate your time. And thank you for joining us and tuning in and checking out alcohol inks because they are really a lot of fun to play with. They really are. So you can see these little, I'm just going to pop these out real quick. So you have these kind of little dots and then you can grab your leaves and they do die cut. So die cut, you can totally die cut with these. My paper is still a little slightly wet, so it's not super awesome. But we're going to make a go of it right now, guys. I'm making a go because I got to do this quick. There we go. Oh, boy. And again, it is plasticky, so just be mindful as you're doing it. But my paper's still a little wet, so I'm just gonna grab this guy. This leaf still wants to be on there. All right, whoops, there we go. Release. All right, he's gonna rip, but we're gonna go with it. There we go. So you can have those leaves, and then you have this really cool little leaf, and you can see how it has this really, really super pretty pattern on it, and then it just goes right with it. Right, Tracy? Doesn't that look cool? All right, so thank you guys so much for being here. And we played around with alcohol inks. We did alcohol inks on vellum. We did some backgrounds and made some little kind of cool looking stained glass kind of things. So thank you all so much for your time. And thank you, Angel, for being behind the badge. And again, we love to see what you guys make. So please share that with us on social media with #Altenew. And I will see you later. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Bye.